Hey everyone, so if you're even thinking about starting an online business, chances are you've bumped into Shopify a lot. But there's always that one big question that hangs in the air. What's the real cost? Today, we're going to tear that all apart and find out if it's actually free to get started. All right, let's just get right to it. We're going to tackle the number one question that pretty much every single person has when they first land on that Shopify homepage. You've seen the ads, you've heard the hype, but is it for real? Is Shopify actually free? Let's clear this up once and for all. Okay, right off the bat, let's be super clear. The simple, direct answer is no. In the long run, Shopify is not a free platform. But wait, don't go anywhere, because that is so not the full story. Because this, right here, is where things get really interesting. See, while it's not free forever, Shopify has set things up so you can get your entire business idea off the ground for, well, almost nothing. And this is the magic number, $1 a month. For your first 3 months, you can build your store, run your business, and actually make sales for just a single dollar per month. It's kind of wild, so let's break down exactly how that works. You really need to think of this as more than just a trial. It's more like a 93-day launch pad. It's strategically designed for you to test your ideas, prove your concept, and build some real momentum before you ever have to pay a full subscription. So here's how that timeline looks. It all starts with a totally free 3-day window. This is your build phase. Then, once you're ready, you unlock the next 90 days of selling for just that $1 a month. You literally won't see your first real full-priced bill until day 94. And getting started is dead simple. It's just 2 steps. First, you activate that 3-day free trial. And get this, no credit card required, so it's zero risk. That's your private sandbox to build everything out. Then, when you're ready to go live, you just pick a plan and boom, that unlocks the $1 a month offer and you can start selling to the world. So what's the point of these 93 days? Well, your goal is to validate your entire business. You want to get those first few sales in the door, prove people will actually buy your stuff. You can test out some Facebook or TikTok ads, get real feedback from actual customers, and basically build up enough steam so that when that first full bill comes, it's a total non-issue. Okay, so what happens when that amazing 93-day launchpad period is over? Well, that's when you move on to a standard plan. So let's quickly walk through the main options so you know exactly what to expect. Now, for most people just starting out, this is going to be your go-to, the basic plan. For about $25 a month, this is your new command center. It gives you everything you need to run a proper, professional online store and really start to grow. Then, once the sales are starting to roll in consistently, you might look at the Grow plan. The big wins here are 1, lower transaction fees, which means you keep more of your money from every sale, and 2, much better reporting, so you can see what's working and do more of it. And then there's the big one, the advanced plan. Honestly, this is for businesses that are really scaling up. You get the absolute rock bottom lowest fees, which makes a huge difference at high volume. And you unlock some powerful automation tools that can save you a ton of time. All right, so your monthly plan is the main cost, for sure, but it's not the only cost. And I don't really like calling these hidden because they're not. They're just variable costs that you need to be aware of so you can budget for them properly. Okay, first up, and this is a big one, transaction fees. Here's the deal. If you use Shopify's own system, Shopify Payments, you just pay the standard credit card rate. Simple. But if you decide to use a third-party gateway like PayPal, Shopify adds another fee on top of that, a full 2% on the basic plan. So for most new stores, sticking with Shopify Payments just makes way more sense financially. And then there are a few other things to keep in mind. You'll want your own domain name, which is a small yearly cost. You might also decide to buy a premium theme for a more unique look. That's a one-time thing. And then maybe a few key apps for things like email marketing or reviews, which can add a little bit to your monthly bill. So when you put it all together, the plan, the fees, the extras, how does Shopify really stack up? Especially against those free alternatives you always see popping up. Is it worth the money? This chart tells a really interesting story. A platform like WooCommerce might be free software, but you still have to pay for your own web hosting. And once you add that in, plus maybe a few paid plugins, that free option can easily end up costing you more every single month than the all-in-one basic Shopify plan. And that really gets to the heart of it. With Shopify, you're not just buying software, you're paying for peace of mind. You're paying for a platform where the hosting, the security, the 24/7 support, it all just works. It frees you up to worry about your products and your marketing, not about whether your server is going to go down. So, here's the bottom line. No, Shopify isn't free. But if you're serious about building a real, scalable business online, it is probably the single smartest and most valuable investment you can make to get started. Look, the platform is there. The tools are ready. They've given you a nearly risk-free runway to test your big idea. So really, the only question left is, are you ready to go for it?